I call Kevin Haig.
Mr. Chair, it's a shame that this new style of this debate doesn't permit me to go across multiple portfolios, because I would love to talk about the comments that the Minister and the Chair has just made about health. Instead, tonight I'm going to talk about housing and pick up the comment made by the Honourable Hekia Parata that this debate is about the quality of citizenship New Zealanders can expect under this government. Mr. Chair, there is a human right to good housing, a human right. It's a basic human need. And yet, across the broad spectrum of housing issues, this government is failing again and again. So let's see what some of those issues are. Affordability of housing is certainly one of those, particularly in Auckland and Christchurch, but not isolated to those communities. Rental affordability and also security, and the quality of housing that we have in this country. Perhaps three big issues, and I'll touch on all three of those. So first of all, on affordability, Mr. Chair, last week we had the Reserve Bank Governor, Deputy Governor Grant Spencer, talking about, in quite extraordinary language, the need for central government to step up to the plate, saying that the Reserve Bank simply did not have the tools to do the job itself, and only central government could do the necessary things to solve the affordability crisis, particularly in Auckland. And he recommended a comprehensive range of measures, with the centrepiece, in fact, being addressing the unequal tax treatment of income that we earn from our jobs, Mr. Chair, compared with the income derived from capital gains. He was advocating a capital gains tax amongst a suite of other measures. And what we saw from the government in response to this extraordinary demand-side picture painted by the Reserve Bank was a silver bullet solution, which was about supply. And we're going to change the RMA to make supply a bit easier. So that's what the government had to respond to the Reserve Bank with. Mr. Chair, the median house price in Auckland is now $720,000. $720,000. The median household income for New Zealanders in Auckland under the age of 35 is under $50,000. Housing for that generation in Auckland will never be affordable, with all of the consequences that has for retirement savings. A fundamental failure of government policy to ensure housing supply for those New Zealanders. When we come to rentals, I pick up on some of the comments that lead out the Select Committee's report on Housing New Zealand's annual report. Housing New Zealand aims for New Zealanders in high need to have access to Housing New Zealand property for as long as that need continues. Well, Mr. Chair, in fact, that's a fundamental shift of policy. The point of state housing, Mr. Chair, in the first place was to ensure that everybody was housed, not just those in high need. That was what Housing New Zealand set out to do. And Housing New Zealand didn't used to say, when that need is finished, then we no longer provide service to you. Because the reality is, Housing New Zealand and the government used to understand that actually settling someone's housing situation might well provide the platform that enabled them to actually take further steps up the ladder, further steps in reducing the chaos in their lives. What happens now, Mr. Chair, is that as soon as that person finds a job, tenancy review comes in and out you go, plunged back into the chaos of homelessness. It's an incoherent policy that maybe has short-term gains for Housing New Zealand, but long-term costs to this country. Then we come to the issues around, and I just want to mention too, the shameful use, which is not picked up in the Select Committee's review, the shameful use of 90-day notices by Housing New Zealand. So Housing New Zealand decides it wants to get rid of some tenants, it takes them to the tribunal and loses, and then it responds by issuing 90-day notices.
Correct, Mr. Chair.